Welcome back, students. We are learning linear inequations. This is for class 10 ICSE or IGCSE, and class 11 CBSE you have linear programming, and the basics for linear programming is discussed with linear inequations. Okay, so to understand linear programming we need to know about linear inequations. That's the reason I have put this module into it. Okay, and then yeah, in the previous class you can watch my previous videos for continuation, and you can see that in the previous video I have discussed about the number line and how you have to consider the greater than, less than symbols, and how to use them with the variables. Okay, in continuation with that I am going to discuss some more about those variables and the inequality symbols. Okay, let's start with it. So in the previous session I discussed about these symbols, and I was using variables like x or y. I'm taking two variables right now. X is greater than equal to 5. If I write x greater than or equal to 5, I mean there is a line, number line. If I consider, suppose this is 4, this is 3, and this is 2, 6, 7, 8, and so on. The number line continues to infinity on both sides, isn't it? This is minus infinity and this is plus infinity, correct? Okay, then if I say x greater than or equal to 5, x is greater than or equal to 5. This information is not sufficient for us to locate the points on the number line. Also we need to know x belongs to which set, which number set. So number set can be classified by you want to check more about these real numbers and their classification, you can watch my video about rational and irrational numbers. The very first video will have all these contents. I have given that link in the description. You can watch that. But on a gist, if I want to know, this is real numbers. Real numbers are represented with R. Real numbers are categorized into rational and irrational. Okay, so rational are represented with the Q, and irrational are represented with the Q bar or Q prime also, anything. So Q bar with a prime or with a bar will represent irrational, and rational represented with like this. And then you have integers as the subcategory. Integers and decimals, you can categorize into integers and decimals. Okay, and then further you can you can write them like this. Okay, integers are represented with I or Z. People have this doubt, why I or Z. I, we can understand it is integers, but Z stands for Zehlin. That's a person's name. He is a mathematician and he has run research on integers, so his name is given. So I or Z. And then integers can be broadly classified into three types, that is negative, 0, and positive integers. We all know that. So there is a difference between an integer and a decimal. Suppose I write 2.5. 2.5 cannot be an integer. It will never be an integer because it's a decimal number. Either 2 should be there or 5 should be there, or between the numbers, that is 3, 4, all of these are integers. So there is no, in integers world there are no numbers between 2 and 3. Okay, even if it is minus 2, suppose minus 2 and minus 3, between minus 2 and minus 3 on the number line, if your number set is belonging to integers world, then it is minus 2 and then you have minus 3 on the left hand side, and the right hand side you find minus 1, and the next is 0, and so on. But if it comes to decimal world is very huge. It's very, very vast, which means any number between minus 3 and minus 2 can be considered decimal. Any number between, imagine this is 0 and this is 1. Between 0 and 1 itself you can find. You can write 0.1, you can also write 0.01, you can write 0.001, you can write 0.0001. So it depends on what kind of decimal you are taking, and it is an infinite set by itself. Decimal numbers are by itself infinite set. Okay. Rational numbers are usually converted into decimal form, and the decimals are usually converted back to rational numbers, or the very famous, you call them fractions. What is the difference between a fraction and a rational number? Fractions are just a positive form of p by q. You usually write the rational number in the form of p by q, right? So p by q, if it is in the positive number, positive p by q, then it's a fraction. It can be called as a fraction as well. Okay, the other name of it. Whereas if you find a number which is like minus 2 by 3, you have a number like plus 5 by 9, it can be called as a fraction. It can also be called as a rational number. Okay, but whereas minus 2 by 3 cannot be called as a fraction, it should be only called as a rational number. These are some small basics which we need to know. The competitive exams which we have do not test us on very big things. Okay, these small kind of data will matters for competitive exams at least, so we need to know this. And then coming back, the negative is one set, 0 is neither positive nor negative, so okay, so 0 and positive numbers together I can consider them as whole numbers. Okay, whole numbers which are represented with W, and only positive numbers we can consider them as natural numbers. We know what is natural numbers. Okay, so it is represented with N. So it is very important for us in linear inequations to know which set does this variable belong to, whether it is real number, whether x belongs to real number, x belongs to rational number, x belongs to integer, x belongs to whole number, x belongs to natural number. Which of these is considered? Now if I consider simply x belongs to integer set, imagine, and then how will I draw this graph? How will I draw this line segment or line? X greater than or equal to number line, right? So greater than equal to is there, so I can consider the 5 itself, 6, 7, 8. I do not have any numbers between, in my integer world I do not have numbers between 5 and 6, neither 6 and 7 nor 7 and 8, and so on. So the entire number set will be like this, isn't it? So only the 5, 6, 7, 8 and so on, it goes like this. Suppose the same thing I am considering, imagine here I have removed y here, I am just writing x greater than or equal to 5, but x belongs to, imagine, real number set. Now how will I draw the line? Number line, same 5, 4, 3, 2 and so on, and then 6 here, 7 here, 8 and so on. This is plus infinity and this is minus infinity. Okay, because the numbers negative integers are going to be on the left hand side and the positive ones on the right hand side. Okay, when x belongs to real numbers, R stands for real numbers, yes. So if x belongs to real numbers, what is the condition? Let's see here. If x belongs to real numbers, then 5 can be considered, along with 5 and between numbers also considered, 6 is considered, between numbers also considered, 7 considered, between 7 and 8 also considered, then 8 considered, and so on. So the number line simply would look like this. Right from here it starts and it goes on towards plus infinity. No need to mention the dots or the shaded circles like this. Why? Because 5 is anyway considered, and apart from 5 we have all the numbers, all the set of numbers between 5 to infinity, even the decimal parts. Okay, that's the reason if x belongs to R, your number line should be represented like this. When x belongs to I, it should be represented like this. Now here two things you have to remember. I will just show in short. When you have a circle shaded, when you have a circle with a dot, what is this represented? Included value. Included value. If I represent with a circle with a dot, then it is excluded value. What does this mean? Suppose the same x is just greater than 5. I have to draw 5, 6, imagine I am drawing in short, okay, 4 here, 3 here, then I have to draw like this, okay, when x belongs to real numbers, imagine. Understood? So the representation of the number line is very, very significant here. A circle with a shaded circle is included value, and the circle with a small dot inside is an excluded value. Which this means actually you are telling that x can be greater than 5 values. You cannot take 5 although, but above 5, like 5.1, it can be 5.001, it can be 5.00001. So it can be anything because it's real number set. When it comes to, imagine the integer set itself, if x is greater than 5 and x belongs to integers, then how will you draw? Same 5, 4, 3 here, 6, 7 you are drawing, imagine. Okay, now it's an integer, x should be greater than 5, so I draw a circle with a dot, and the next will be shaded. Next will be shaded because above 5 I can take any value, and the next value according to integers world is 6, which can be considered, and 7 also considered, similarly 8 also considered. So I'll shade them. Only 5 is not shaded, and rather I just keep it with a dot, and then it goes on like this. So this is the difference. If it's real number set, you just draw a small dotted circle because 5 is excluded, and then it goes to infinity. When it comes to integers, if x belongs to integers, you are going to write like this. Okay, so I hope this is clear, and I want to take one more example with a negative number so that it is clear for you to understand. Okay, let us see one more example. Suppose y, consider y, okay, y is less than or equal to -2, imagine -2. Then this is not sufficient, you have tried y belongs to which one? Say for instance integers I am taking. What if integers? Next I have tried -3, -4, -5, so on here, -1, 0, and this is 1, 2, 3 and so on. So obviously this will be minus infinity and this will be plus infinity. Okay, let's start our graph, linear number line. X is less than or equal to -2. Since equal to symbol is there, when you have equal to symbol, you can use this shape. Okay, when you have only these symbols, you will use this excluded thing. Okay, and then now I'll draw the graph for it. Let us start. Y is less than or equal to -2, but y belongs to integers. Less than -2, what are the values? -3, -4, -5. In integers world, you can consider this -2 also because it is equal to, and then -3, and then you have -4, and then you have -5, so on. It goes like this, yes, it's shaded, completely shaded, and the arrow marks is pointed towards -infinity. When the same thing is represented, imagine the next case is y is less than or equal to -2, but y belongs to real numbers. Then what happens? We'll see. Okay, then what happens? We need to draw the same number line anyways, and then here it is -2, -3, -4, -5, of course, -1, 0, 1, 2 and so on. This is plus infinity and this is minus infinity, correct? Yeah. And then y is less than or equal to -2, but y belongs to what? Real numbers. When I say real numbers, it's understood. Yeah. So let's see how we are going to draw. You have to consider -2, of course, yes, and then it goes on like this. That's all. No need to make specific values because we cannot consider in between values. We are shading the each value here. At least 3 values we have to shade, and we are shading it. But when it comes to real number set, I said no, between -3 and -2 there are infinite number of numbers. Even those are considered for y belongs to R, real numbers. So So that's the reason you just point an infinity towards infinity from 0, I mean minus 2. Okay. Say for instance you have one more question similar to this. If suppose y is less than minus 2, there is no equal to symbol, but y belongs to integers, then how are we supposed to represent it? So let's see that. You have to draw the number line again. Minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5. Minimum 3 numbers on either side you have to draw. Sorry. Okay, and then you can represent the number line. So as I said, there is no equal to symbol. I need to mention this with a small circle with a dot. Okay, and it goes like this because it's integers. Yes, minus 3 is an integer and it is included into the set which we are considering. So I am considering all of these like this, and then I draw the number line. Okay, it's a straight line, please consider it to be straight line. Okay, and then what is one more example I'll take, in which I'm considering y is less than minus 2, but y belongs to real numbers. So same way you will draw all the numbers again. Yeah, and then what you will draw? You have to use some other color. Okay, I'm using another colors too. So it's minus 2 but not included, so it's excluded, but it's a real number. So from minus 2 it's towards minus infinity. This is minus infinity, correct? Towards minus infinity, and all the other numbers are also included in this. So I just draw a line. No need to represent like this. You understand the difference? If it's integers, I am specific that the next number or the previous number for minus 2 is minus 3 or minus 4, minus 5, like that. I am specific. Now when it comes to real numbers, all the set of numbers between minus 2 and infinity are considered, including the decimal parts. So that's the reason I just draw a line from minus 2. So these conditions should be kept in mind when you are drawing the number lines. We'll see in the next class. Thank you.